10 stories that will make you believe in fate. Sometimes we end up in the right place at the right time, as though by someone's will, leading us to think that this is simply fate. Here are 10 stories about how coincidences changed people's lives for the better. Frankly speaking, the last story almost brought me to tears. Let's see which story will melt your heart.
A couple of days ago, our cat ran away. My husband said that he went away to die because he was already 13. I had to explain this somehow to my 5-year-old son. Yesterday, we were out for a walk. I'd already planned what I was going to say in my head, and then I heard my son say, "Mom, look!" I looked, and in his hands was a copy of Freddie when he was a kitten. Now, the new Freddie lives with us, and I told my son that our old cat still lived inside the younger version. Then my husband and I started thinking about it, and we thought maybe it's really the case that cats have 9 lives. And for each one, they return to their favorite owners, just in a new form.
I lived in Los Angeles until I was 10. I went to kindergarten there. My mom and aunt often told me later that I became good friends there with a little girl called Diana. And I even promised to marry her. Many years later, I was living in New York, and I got acquainted with a woman. Soon our friendship became a relationship. She was also called Diana, which I didn't attach any significance to at first. Eventually, when we got to know each other much better, I told her the story about the girl in kindergarten. It turned out to be the very same Diana. We're getting married soon. You have to keep your promises.
I moved to a new rented apartment. I've been living there 2 weeks. One day, I decided to organize a spa day for myself. I smeared myself from head to toe in blue clay. Then someone walked in. I was standing there, naked as the day I was born, all blue like Avatar, and I meet the gaze of an incredibly, pleasantly surprised man. I ran to the kitchen and picked up a knife. The guy picked up a spray bottle, and we started demanding who was who and why were they here. It turned out that it was his apartment, and it had been rented out to me by his grandma, who dreamed of finding her grandson a wife. We still remember that day, and I still live there now. We live as one family.
I've been convinced once again that life is a funny thing. My older sister had been dating her boyfriend for 5 years. They broke up, and then she married Alex. My brother dated a girl for 8 years. They broke up, and then he met a wonderful woman, also called Alex. I'd been dating a guy for 3 years. We broke up, and now I've just met another guy. Can you guess his name?
I lost my wallet. It had my ID, money, credit cards, and a photograph of my cat in it. A couple of days later, I found a phone on the bus. I phoned the mom of the person who lost it and agreed to meet with them to give it back. I arrived and the guy was very happy. He said that there were still honest people left in the world after all. I told him that I know how it feels to lose something important, as I'd lost my wallet a few days earlier. Then the guy took a wallet from his pocket and asked me if it was mine. I opened it, and there was the photo of my cat. You can't imagine how surprised we both were. All my money and cards were still there. Now the guy's one of my friends. It's not for nothing that fate led us to meet each other. Miracles happen.
I found out that my husband had a lover right at my wedding. I couldn't control myself or hold back my emotions. I started sobbing and ran away. I went down into the subway and headed off somewhere. A girl in a large wedding dress crying in the subway. Naturally, I attracted a lot of sideways glances. And then a young man appeared, clearly aiming to lift my mood. He took me by the hand and led me out of the subway carriage as though he was my groom. I'm now happily married to my new husband.
There's always one homeless guy hanging around near my house. He once came up to me and asked me for money for a lottery ticket. I didn't believe that's what he wanted it for, but I gave him some money. The next day, he came back to me, gave me back my money, and said, "I'm indebted to you until I die. I bought a lottery ticket and won $250,000. Thank you." I actually almost started crying. It was so nice that by giving him such a small sum, I had, in some way, helped him get back on his feet.
There's a small square near to my house. I used to go for walks there with my sister on a regular basis. There's a mysterious place there where Mom met her father and my sister met her husband. And today, I accidentally bumped into and knocked a guy over in the same place. I apologized and helped him get up. My whole family is now waiting for the wedding date.
I understood that he was my fate when I found out that his father and grandfather were both called Alexander, just like mine were. And not willing to risk breaking tradition, we also decided to call our son Alexander.
My mom was diagnosed with cancer in the autumn. The doctor said she had little chance of survival. I sat by her bed in the hospital for hours on end, and my cat was left at home alone. I started taking the cat with me to see Mom in the hospital. The first time I did this, my cat laid down on my mom and slept on her the whole day. In the morning, a nurse came to carry out a test and noticed the cat wasn't breathing. She had died. The day after that, we got the news that Mom's illness was receding, and her test results were very good. They said it was a miracle. My cat gave her life for my mom. There's no other explanation.